across several communities are still trying to get back to some level of normalcy, but more issues are becoming apparent. Ramada Lyons was in the parish and filed this report.
It's a disaster. This is a destruction from the God.
A family still unable to fathom the destruction in Alligator Pond. Hurricane Beryl relegated to a toddler. The struggle on the ground. Let's look from a bird's view. These houses are still standing, but how many more systems can they take? This point used to be lined with luscious palm trees, but most of the palm trees will now be palmed by men in an effort to clear debris. They have fallen in a fight against Melissa. The sea, closer than it has ever been, and with strong winds and rain like we've seen from Melissa, it threatens to take other properties as well. Board and zinc scattered, rooftops in an unvolunteered game of hide and seek, windows smashed, concrete broken apart.
A lot of grape tree was on the beach. The sea did their way back, the boat them push up on the front part, and as you can see, not even to step, me can't step off my banking now. So all it's tear off.
She says she's lucky. The community went from anticipating to panicking.
Meanwhile, watching it, everybody afraid. Everybody afraid. But we still are watch. So when Mrs. said the banking is breaking more and more, well, everybody kind of get panic. We will start pack 1, 2, or 3 bags to run with them kids. Take down some juice and biscuit and stuff, you know you can run with the baby.
Now, acceptance that it could have been worse. Many are asking why residents didn't heed evacuation warnings. Well, she says during the last system, they were at a shelter, and they were more exposed to the storm. And when they returned home, they saw minimal damage to their properties.
Well, we never saw it, but we heard that bus came to escort people to higher ground. But the last time we went and moved left our little place, well, when I tear down, you understand? So everybody was shot this time because we never experienced such a disaster like this.
Even farther from the sea, damage. The school sign symbolic of the actual school, Alligator Pond Primary and Infant, completely flooded. Not just one section, but across the entire property. Trees impeding traffic, almost at every turn. Downed poles leaving many diverting or squeezing through corners. The pre-existing conditions of some roadways making transport a lot worse. It's a team effort to clear a roadway in Spur Tree, not for themselves, but for motorists. And while his neighbors battled rain, this man battled a fire.
I was fast asleep when my wife wake me that she sensing smoke, and I said, how? And she went outside only to see from the other apartment fire. That's when I got up and went there and started to out the fire. When we couldn't get anywhere, we waited until the firefighters came and outed the fire.
This man ran as floodwaters chased him. The only thing he could save was his cow. If you could describe the damage with one word, what is that word?
He can't describe. The damage can't describe. You be a boat, man, and run for the cow and cow go up there, so, man, boy, I tell you, the first part of the rain, the main down here, the first part. You see the second part, I come, me that drown, but me couldn't make it, man. And me that drown down here, man, me that drown. Look at them out there, be a mud over the whole place, man. Oh God, man, me need help, man, me need help.
Ramada Lyons, TVJ News.
Residents of Zion in Trelawney were dealt a double blow after Hurricane Melissa flattened their homes and the shelter they turned to for safety started leaking. Kimon White was in Trelawney yesterday and now reports.
What was meant to be a place of refuge quickly turned into chaos for Coral Spence after the roof of the Holland High School shelter began leaking during the passage of Hurricane Melissa. She said she and others had no choice but to keep moving from one classroom to another, trying to escape the leakage.
Everybody did a wet up in there, so we did have to leave and come to another classroom, which the same thing happened. So we have to leave from that classroom now and come to another classroom, which worse. Yeah.
So what was it? How badly was the leaking?
It bad man, it bad because we have to join benches together, chairs together, if we put the pit in them for sleep on.
Ceiling materials soaked and falling onto the floor, water pooling in classrooms, and drenched desks and chairs, all a clear sign of the conditions they were exposed to Tuesday night. Another resident, Kamika Plummer, said she had to get creative just to make her children a bit more comfortable.
The ceilings were falling down. I don't know what they use in the top of the ceilings, but those cannot hold water. So as the water go on it, them soak and it just come down in the school. And over there is a very big mess over there. Even though the roofing didn't come off, but they were leaking, like rain was literally falling inside of the building.
So you were over there all night with that going on?
Yes, ma'am. So we got a tarpaulin and tie to make a second ceiling.
Florence Williams, the shelter manager, said things were manageable at first, but conditions worsened as the storm intensified.
It was okay until the storm started. So when the storm started now, then the breeze started coming in and they have to start moving from classroom to classroom. As you see, the condition I wouldn't stay right now. So it's a shelter, but maybe it's the magnitude of the storm that caused all this. When Beryl came last year, it's the center we used and it wasn't that bad.
And after the hurricane, community members returned to a devastating scene. Homes damaged and many who lived in board houses are now homeless.
I saw my neighbor house, my house, my zinc them fly off, everything. It was a disaster. We don't know where to start from just now.
I saw damage. I saw a lot of people crying and but I didn't feel that way. I'm not going to lie to you, I never feel that way. Because I have life.
Miss Williams told the Radio Jamaica News on Wednesday that they are still waiting for help to arrive.
Food to the poor did contact us and ODPEM, but through this time now and the cut off of the internet, we don't get no contact with them, so we're just sitting here waiting.
Cameron White, TVJ News.
We now go back to Westmoreland now, where funeral homes are facing challenges, unable to access the bodies of individuals who died during Hurricane Melissa. Kimberly Petty has our story.
The scenes from the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa have left persons emotional, but what residents say is more traumatizing is passing the corpse of persons that died along the roadway simply because there is no means of getting it to the morgue. TVJ News spoke to this resident from Amity in the parish.
I mean, it's very sad. It's very sad. I'd expected that I would have seen a better response from the government overall. I literally haven't seen 2 police cars since. And I've driven from Amity to Savlamar, to George's Plain, to Burn Savannah. And you're not seeing anyone. There's no help. It's just the community helping the community.
The distraught resident said he would have passed some police stations that were intact.
I'm not sure. I just saw a JDF helicopter flying over Froome, so I'm not sure if that is going to land somewhere. That was like an hour ago. That's the first sign of some sort of response that I've seen. Apart from that is the residents that are trying to clear the roads because majority of the roads are blocked by light posts.
If you were to describe in 2 words, what has happened in Westmoreland, what would those words be?
Catastrophic and chaos.
We also caught up with Member of Parliament for Eastern Westmoreland, Dr. Dayton Campbell.
Yeah, from our check so far today, the death toll has risen to 10. We have the 2 in Lennox Bigwoods, 1 in Hollyhill, 1 in Lower Darliston, 2 in Seaford Town, 1 in Hilltop area of Seaford, and 1 in Seaford Town proper. And then we have 2 in Gordon in White House, 1 in Farm, and 1 in Petersville.
Dr. Campbell said he is hoping that the JDF aircraft will remove the bodies Thursday. TVJ News is getting reports of more deaths from residents that are not among the 10 mentioned by Dr. Campbell. Kimberly Petty for TVJ News.
Commercial flights resumed out of the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston today. As Jamila Maitland explains, some travelers were left disappointed after their flights were cancelled.
Hopeful travelers flocked the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston on Thursday to finally go home.
But I had a flight today at 5, but they canceled it, so they rebooked it for tomorrow.
A director at PACL that operates the NMIA, Nicole Berger, says the facility has been opened since 7 a.m. for humanitarian aid and commercial flights.
We have a number of passengers who are here who are uncertain as to whether they have a flight, who have come trying to get a flight, trying to rebook, trying to reschedule. I've spoken to a couple of passengers today who came in from Montego Bay, unable to get internet access to try and rebook from there.
Now, the mood here at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston is one of relief, exhaustion and frustration for those who were able to book their flights today. Unfortunately, not everyone was so lucky. They will simply have to return on Friday.
We came here minutes after 3 and we were told that all flights are booked for today, tomorrow up to the 6th. But so some way, somehow the Lord worked it out, so we got a flight for the 5th, which is before the.
For British citizen Tiggy, there is no direct flight to England, and so she has to go to France in order to go home.
We're going to Panama, from Panama to Paris, Paris to London.
Her voice cracking under the weight of the disaster that she witnessed on her drive into Kingston. She lauded the workers at the resort she was staying for their hospitality.
It's heartbreaking on so many levels. So many different people's lives have been turned upside down. People are torn. For me, the people I interacted with the most, that the hotel staff who hadn't heard back from families, given signals and stuff, were down. But their main concern was the hotel guests. It's just like, thank you, but how are you? How are your families? Is everything okay? And somewhat you could tell that they're just having to compartmentalize and just set aside how they were feeling to just make sure they did a job well done.
For these visitors, however, the service was poor. Their flights were cancelled. Still, they say it won't be their last trip to Jamaica.
I'm actually still grateful that I'm getting to go home, period. You guys they have to live here. So this is not my reality. I get to go home. So even though it's tomorrow, I'm grateful.
Despite the experience, is something you think you'll come back?
I definitely come back to Jamaica. Now, I don't know if I'm going to come during a hurricane season, but yes. But I would say this, we also, before we came, it was a tropical storm before we actually arrived. When we arrived, didn't turn to a hurricane.
Yeah, we had no idea.
As for those providing service at the airport,
although there is a lot of work on us right now, but we still grateful to be here, because without the airport we don't have any bread nor any salary to get. So we are just happy, and gradually we are here. And tomorrow will be a more viable and more hectic day, but we are giving thanks, and we are here at the Norman Manley International Airport.
scarlet letter etched on her jacket, Supervisor Melissa tried breaking the ice while calming frantic travelers.
Melissa, I hear them jeering you today. Right now, your name is not the best one in Jamaica, you know?
Not the best one. I tell you, sister, for true them. And it's not done, you say it, you know? It's not done here, so when the other co-worker them come, they're going to slaughter me.
Jamila Maitland, TVJ News.
And scores of persons were left stranded in Montego Bay, St. James Thursday after they turned up for flights at the Sangster International Airport. Dwayne Anderson has the details.
A battered Sangster International Airport. Its current state similar to almost every other property in St. James. Consequently, it remains closed. But some passengers were fed incorrect information. They turned up at the airport to find barriers and closed signs.
Policeman just say there's water inside and the computers are down and nobody can, the airport is closed. So no idea when we're gonna leave.
So we are here at the Montego Bay Airport, at Sangster International Airport, only to hear that there are no flights going out today. But, we understand. We understand that that's a Category 5, and we are, it's about, it look like there's cross communication or miscommunication.
No, I talked to my boss already, and they understand because they watch the news, I know they might understand, I told him today I should be home today. We have to work tomorrow, but eventually the airport is closed, so there's nothing I can do. And I can't make no phone call. My phone don't work. I have the internet, So I'm trying to sitting right here now.
While at the facility, we observed a small crane truck suggesting work crews were effecting repairs. Given all the debris and damage, they are in a fierce race with time to get the airport to an operational level in the next few days. But some of these passengers do not believe things will flow smoothly in the coming days, given how hard it is to access the airport in Montego Bay.
Government didn't do anything to move those trees in the way. We're supposed to have two-way road, everything coming down on one way. It's crazy. I know that the devastation is crazy, terrible, 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 but I believe that they should have crew on the road, especially to open up the way to the airport.
When contacted, officials at the airport say for now, there will be no commercial flights at the airport. All flights which were scheduled to arrive and depart from the facility have been rerouted to the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. But it's evident that the people who turned up were not aware. In addition to the structural issues,